This just keeps getting better every singular time we hear it. Hello everybody, this is Omega Makoto, and welcome back to Persona 3 Portable for PC and modern consoles. Last time that we were here, we were in the hospital due to us awakening to our power of Persona after defeating our first shadow and finding out there's a bunch more to this world than what meets the eye, as well as finding out there's a bunch more people like us out in the world. So, right now, we're going to be heading onward to the 4th floor and finding out what Ikutsuki wants from us, as well as what the heck is going on with the information they're going to provide. But before we do that, let's take a look at the news! Seriously? I thought there were going to be some interesting stuff. Alright, well let's get to the 4th floor. A room on the 4th floor. Ikari, Mitsuru, and the chairman and an unfamiliar male student are sitting here. Oh, yeah. And I apologize for any mispronunciations that I've done before, and any in the future. So, sorry ahead of time, and don't flame me in the comments about this, alright? I already understand there's going to be a bunch of pronunciation errors and a lot of spelling errors and such. So just bear with me for a while, okay? So, I'll see you guys later about it. Oh, and something else you should know. I got my guide up and running, so it should be a lot easier to deal with it. And for people who don't know, I normally don't wear glasses, and currently right now, I just got myself a pair of blue light glasses due to the fact that I'm going to be doing a lot of recording later on, and I don't want to damage my eyes because I need them. So, yeah. So with that out of the way, we're just going to continue and get started with this conversation.
Ah, there you are. I'm glad that you're okay. The reason I asked you here is because I needed to talk to you. Please, have a seat.
Okay.
Oh, before that.
All right.
I believe I mentioned him earlier, but this is Akihiko.
How you doing?
Okay, let me start off by asking you this.
All right.
Would you believe me if I said that a day consists of more than 24 hours?
I mean, with everything that's happened last night, and I mean, we already understood what was happening, and we knew that things were going on. And so, and let me tell you this, in the anime movie, the protagonist already knew about the Dark Hour for so long since he was a little kid. So that's why he didn't show any of the symptoms, due to the fact that he's been in the Dark Hour for so long. So, I mean, the normal answer would be no, but excuse me? I mean, if you were in the situation, you would be like, excuse me? Yeah, I think it would be more better for this answer.
I'm not surprised by your reaction.
Well, thank you, Mitsuru, for confirming this sort of reaction that people might have if they were in the actual situation.
However, you've already experienced this truth firsthand.
That is true.
Do you remember the night you came here? You had to have noticed the signs. The streetlights went out, nothing was working, there were coffins everywhere. Didn't it feel like you were in a different time? That's the Dark Hour, a time period hidden between one day and the next.
Hidden? Well, I mean, you could, you would understand between the one day and the next. You could also say that you don't get it, but it would be more realistic to ask why it would be hidden.
I guess it's more like something people aren't aware of. But the Dark Hour does exist. It occurs each night at midnight. It'll happen tonight, and every night to come.
Normal people don't realize it, since they're all sleeping inside their coffins. But that's not what makes the Dark Hour so interesting. You saw those creatures. We call them shadows. They only appear during the Dark Hour and attack anyone not in a coffin. It's our job to defeat them. Sounds exciting, huh?
Well, to be frank, I know about the shadows already, and they're just a mainstay, monster within the SMT series, which is the Persona Shin Megami Tensei series, to be specific. The Persona series is just a spin-off side series, but it is popular, and it does, refer to it.
Akihiko, why are you always like that? You just got hurt the other day.
Now. He does his work well. Long story short, we're the Specialized Extracurricular Execution Squad, SEAS for short.
Okay.
On paper, we're classified as a school club, but in reality, this group is dedicated to defeating the shadows.
Ah, so like a secret military thing, but for high school students to defeat the shadows.
Mitsuru is the leader. I'm the club advisor.
A shadow feeds on the mind of its prey. The victim becomes a living corpse.
If people will remember from the second episode, you saw that guy with black stuff coming out, right? Well, that would be a shadow feeding on a victim.
They're responsible for most of the incidents on the news, if not all of them.
You say all of them, but for how long have the shadows existed? But what about the police? Yeah, I mean, if this is something important, you have to at least, alert the authorities.
Unfortunately, the police can't do anything during the dark hour.
Right. The transmogrification into a coffin. And people are gonna do diddly squat if they can't exactly access the dark hour in the first place, and if they can't be, aware of it.
Although rare, there are those who can function during the dark hour. Some may even awaken to a power that enables them to fight the shadows. That's Persona, the power you used the other night.
Yep.
The shadows can only be defeated by Persona users.
And I will mention this. This is one of the few times in which people will actually be referred to as a Persona user, because at first people will just call this power just Persona. They don't exactly call them Persona users. But it wasn't until this game, or more specifically Persona 3, that they are referred to as Persona users. They only just call this power Persona, or, demon summoning in Japan, but never Persona users. So, yeah. Thank you, Persona 3, for that, I guess. And it is the start off for a lot of the mainstays for the franchise, so, yeah.
Which means it's all up to you guys.
Well, that's a lot of pressure, isn't it? I see.
I'm glad you're quick to understand.
Mitsuru opens the case on the table. A silver gun gleams uncannily from inside.
What he's trying to say is, we want you to join us. We've prepared an evoker for you. We'd like you to lend us your strength.
Now, as you see right there, the text is different for the word evoker, and there's a book, marker right there. I will be explaining that later on in the menus, because currently right now we don't have access to the dictionary or the Wikipedia that's, built in for this game yet. So until we get access to that, I will explain it later. I mean, sure, people would say that I'm not sure I'm ready, but we've already gone against the shadows already, and we already have experience, fighting them. And I already taught you the basics if you've seen the second episode on how to, use the elemental-based magic against, oh wait, I haven't taught about that yet. Well, it's gonna be upcoming in the next tutorial, so yeah. Anyway, we'll just say alright, because we already defeated some shadows, and at least we got the hang of it, and I already taught you how to, basically use your Persona's abilities and how to defend and attack. So let's just continue onward.
I was afraid you'd say no. Welcome aboard.
Thank you so much. I'm really glad. Oh, I almost forgot. About your room assignment.
All right. What about my room assignment?
Why don't you just stay here, in your current room? I don't know what the holdup is, but I guess it worked out in the end.
Ha 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 ha. Yeah, right. We already know that you guys just kept me here just to monitor me. Even though the character doesn't know that yet, we know that you were just monitoring me so that way you can just, check on the entire situation if I'm a good recruit. Why me?
Hold up. Wasn't that... Oh, never mind.
So we join Seas to fight the shadows. A voice rings in your head. Thou art I, and I am thou. Thou hast established a new bond. Thou shalt be blessed from creating personas of the Fool Arcana. You have established the C social link of the Fool Arcana. You may earn experience bonus, an EXP bonus when fusing personas of the Fool Arcana. Yes, social links. Now we can get into the discussion of this. Social links, as described by Igor in the second episode, are a way of boosting up your persona abilities. The higher social link that you have with a specific group of people or individual person boosts up the EXP you get from when fusing personas. And the way in order to boost these social links is by equipping the equivalent persona to that person or group, excluding the Fool Arcana due to it being automatic, or a few other Arcanas to be specific. So that way you can get a bonus in their social link stats. By boosting up the social link stats, you boost up your persona's abilities. And you can get special rewards for your teammates who have social links as well. I won't go into too many details due to it being complex at the moment, but until then, just know we are going to earn a bunch more EXP by making more personas of the Fool Arcana, because this is based on fortune telling. The 13 Arcanas and such. I mean, I don't know exactly how many Arcanas are there, but that's a discussion for another time. You feel your inner strength growing. You recall what Igor said about the power of social links. The intensity of social links strengthens the power of personas. Social links? Are these the bonds you form with people you meet? You are still tired from your hospital stay. You decide to return to your room. Oh, looks like we're going to the dark hour. Just a quick side note. Yeah, just a quick side note. If you're going for the female route, the marker in the lower right corner, as you saw it right there, is blue, and so is the clock. If you go with the female route, it would have been pink. Yeah, like all the blue stuff right there would have been pink. Just a little thing I'd like to mention. It's just cosmetic, but it doesn't do much. As you were dozing off, you felt someone's presence.
Hi, how are you?
My, it's that mysterious boy from the first day that we arrived at the dorm. How'd you get in here? Yeah, how did he even get in here?
I'm always with you.
Okay, totally not creepy. And he knows it's creepy.
Soon, the end will come.
What? You mean like the end of the series?
I remembered, so I thought I should tell you.
The end?
The end of everything.
What? I just started this series.
But to be honest, I don't really know what it is.
Alright, at least it's not the end of my series immediately.
Oh, looks like you've awakened to your power.
Yes, I have.
And an unusual power it is.
Unusual?
A power that takes many forms, yet is bound by none.
Huh?
It may prove to be your salvation, depending on where you end up. Do you remember when we first met?
Yeah?
I expect you to honor your commitment. I'll be watching you, even if you forget about me.
I mean, with something like you around and you watching me, I doubt I'd forget about you. And I already know that you're a prevalent character, so... yeah.
Okay then. See you later.
Alright, goodbye, you creepy kid. This is completely strange. And it's happening within the dark hour, meaning he is relevant to Shadow, so... this is gonna be very bad if he turns out to be someone of a great danger. The 21st, alright. Okay. Morning. Thanks about yesterday. Akihiko-senpai's injured too, and I was really uneasy about working alone with Mitsuda-senpai. Well, I guess leave it to me. Yeah, let's do our best together. But I wonder when Senpai's injury's gonna heal. He said that wasn't a major injury. Well, if it isn't a major injury, then it shouldn't take too long. Okay, Hikari began talking to me in class.
I thought I was gonna fall asleep in there.
Can I have a minute?
Sure.
Come to the lounge when you get back to the dorm. I have something to tell everyone.
Oh, must be C's important if it's related. If she literally got out of her way to come over here.
I'll save the details for later. See you there.
Alright, I guess we'll see you at the lounge later. And she left. She was certainly direct.
She's probably busy with things like student council, unlike us.
Ooh, Yucatan. Do I sense some hostility?
Junpei, why does you and your big mouth have to make the situation more tense than it already does? Yeah, it did seem like he was listening.
Well, it's not that I don't like her. She's just...
a bit demanding. Class ended for the day. We have to go to the dorm. So yep, let's go. Okay, to the command room. Kihiko and Mitsuru's already there, so
Welcome back.
thank you.
We were waiting for you. There's someone I want to introduce.
Alright.
Huh?
Hey, hurry up.
Hold your horses. This is freaking heavy.
You gotta be freaking kidding me!
What's up?
Junpei? This is the important thing that he wanted to keep his mouth shut about? Of course it had to be Junpei, one of the blabbering idiots of the group.
Junpei? Why are you here?
My thoughts exactly, Yukari.
This is Junpei Iori from Class 2F. He'll be staying here as of today.
He's moving to the same dorm, and I already know who Junpei is, Akihiko.
He's staying here? You've got to be kidding me.
My thoughts exactly.
I bumped into him the other night.
What?
He has the potential, but he just awakened to it recently.
Who'd thought that this blabbering idiot has a persona and can go into the dark hour?
I told him about us, and he agreed to help.
Probably because he wanted to be powerful. And wanted to be shown as like he's a very cool guy. In fact, he's part of the secret organization to save the world.
You have the potential? For real?
He found me crying like a baby at the convenience store, surrounded by a bunch of coffins.
As you should be. You look like you would be an idiot, a complete and utter, scaredy cat if you had experienced something like that.
I don't remember much, but man, that's embarrassing. He said that's, completely normal in the beginning. Like being confused and not remembering anything. Did you guys know that?
Well, it didn't happen to me. It didn't happen to me at all. I mean, sure, I fell unconscious when I awakened my power, but it didn't happen to me. I still remember everything. Even though he already gone through that first event a very long time ago.
Big deal.
Big deal! It just shows that I have more experience in the Dark Hour than you, idiot!
It happens to everyone else. But man, I was shocked to find out about you guys. I had no idea. I'm glad I'm not the only one. It could get kind of lonely,
I'm glad I was found by the group, but hey, I would rather be part of the group and not have to be part of it with you, Junpei.
I'll bet you're stoked too, right? Having me join?
Huh? Yeah.
Right. How about no? Junpei's joined C's. Like we have a choice in the matter.
Well, enough with the introductions. I think we're about ready.
Ready? Ready for what?
Okay, everybody's here. I'd like your undivided attention.
Okay.
For a long time, Mitsuru and Akihiko were the only persona users we had. But that number recently jumped to 5. Therefore, starting tonight at 12 a.m., I'd like to commence the exploration of Tartarus.
Tartarus? You mean like the Greek prison that was meant to hold all the Titans? What's so special about exploring something mythological?
Tartarus? What's that? Sounds like toothpaste.
You would know what Tartarus is if you'd studied in class, Junpei.
You haven't seen it, Junpei?
What? What do you mean by that, Yukari? Yeah, my thoughts exactly, and this is one of the few times I actually agree with Junpei.
It's no surprise, since it only appears during the dark hour.
What? You mean like there's a giant prison or something like Tartarus in the mythological stories in the Dark Hour?
The Dark Hour?
Just like the shadows. Interesting, huh? And it's the perfect place for us to train. You can think of it as a shadow nest.
Whoa. Their nest, huh?
So, let me get this straight. There's something of a shadow nest in Iwato and on Tatsumi Port Island called Tartarus, and it's a place for us to train. And it only appears in the dark hour. Okay, this is getting very, very, very interesting. Looks like we have to just go along with the conversation for now and not question it, at least for the moment.
But, Senpai, what about your injury?
Since Akihiko hasn't fully recovered yet, he'll only come as far as the entrance.
Yeah, I know.
Relax, I've got your backs.
Like you can do anything. I've already gone up against shadows.
I'm not so sure about this.
What about you, Mr. Chairman?
I'll stay here. As you know, I can't summon a persona.
And yet you can fully function in the dark hour. Well, hey, at least you can help us out with support. Why are we at the school in the middle of the night?
This is it? This is the place?
Okay, again, my thoughts exactly, Junpei. This is the place?
Why here?
Just wait a few minutes. It's almost midnight.
This is Tartarus, the labyrinth that reveals itself during the dark hour.
Okay. I mean, I already know what to expect, but still, it's crazy if you think about it. The school you literally go to every singular day, in the middle of the dark hour turns into that? And what did she mean by a labyrinth? Is it a complete and utter maze inside?
Labyrinth? What are you talking about?
I mean, again, one of the few times I agree with Junpei.
What happened to our school?
Once the dark hour passes, everything returns to normal.
This is the nest you were talking about? But why? Why'd our school turn into a giant tower?
She's silent.
You don't know either?
No.
I'm sure it's complicated.
Well, maybe now we'll find out.
Alright.
Mitsuru and I have only gone in to take a peek. This'll be our first time exploring it.
Properly exploring it?
Exciting, isn't it?
Sure, exciting as you can get by exploring a nest of shadows, but... Huh.
There has to be some sort of clue in here about the dark hour.
Well, I guess you're not wrong. If there's any place that could be properly done to do investigating, it would probably be the nest of shadows that has been appearing every singular time at midnight. Especially if you want to find out how to, get rid of it permanently.
Akihiko, I respect your enthusiasm, but you won't be accompanying us today.
I know, you don't have to remind me.
So this is Tartarus. Okay, we decide to enter the tower.
Whoa. It's just as cool on the inside.
But it sure is creepy.
This is only the entrance. The labyrinth lies beyond the doorway at the top of the stairs.
First, we'll have you three get a feel for this place. Why don't you go have a look around?
What? By ourselves?
We're not asking you to go very far. And I'll be feeding you information from here.
Huh?
We're also going to appoint a leader to make any necessary decisions.
Alright, who's gonna be the leader?
For real? One of us? Oh, me, pick me.
How about a definite no, Junpei? You are definitely the person not leader material. Especially if you're gonna be completely overbearing and self-centered as you always were as an idiot. Yeah, I can see that Akihiko's apprehensive of even selecting Junpei.
You're in charge.
I'm in charge.
Wait, why him? He doesn't look like a leader.
Well, at least I'm smart in my decisions, and plus, besides that, I'm one of the only few who actually defeated shadows.
But he has fought them before.
Thank you, Yukari.
Seriously?
Seriously.
That's true, but there's another reason.
Alright, what's the other reason?
You two. Can you summon your persona without any difficulties like he can?
I mean, sure I did summon my persona, but, for my initial summoning, I did have a difficulty pulling the trigger, but afterwards it was just pretty simple.
Yeah, of course I can.
I think so.
Well, hopefully Hikari can, handle it, because I saw, how she was when she was trying to, summon hers.
These are shadows we're talking about here. Without your persona, you're screwed.
I'm aware of that.
All right, let's head inside. Are you ready?
As ready as I'll ever be, I guess.
That's the spirit.
You decided to go through the entrance. Wait. Huh? A strange door is sitting in the corner of the lobby.
What's the matter?
The velvet key in your hand is shining. The key fits into the door's keyhole as if it was being sucked in.
I've been waiting for you. The time has come for you to wield your power. The tower that you are about to venture into. How did it come to be? For what purpose does it exist? Regrettably, you are not yet capable of answering these questions. That is why you must be made aware of the nature of your power.
The nature? What the heck are you talking about, Igor? And at least it's good to know that we can access the Velvet Room now. What's the nature of my power?
Your power is unique. It's like the number 0. It's empty, but at the same time holds infinite possibilities.
Okay...
You are able to possess multiple personas and summon them as needed.
Oh! So that's what he means! We can summon multiple personas! Well, to be honest, I already know. In these specific games, from Persona 3 and onward, only the protagonist is the only one that can summon multiple personas. Your teammates can only have access to one. One teammate, one element, one weakness. Of course, as it develops over time, they build up resistances to their weaknesses. But initially, yeah, one element base that they're strong against and one that they're weak against. So, yeah.
And when you have defeated your enemies, you will see the faces of possibility before you.
This will be explained later on.
There may be times when they are difficult to grasp, but do not fear. Seize what you have earned. Your power will grow accordingly. Be sure to keep that in mind. My spare time will soon be scarce. But please, come again of your own accord. I'll tell you then about my true role, the manner in which I can best assist you.
Alright.
Until then, farewell.
See you later, Igor.
Hey, are you all right?
Yeah, what's up? You look like a zombie.
What do you mean? I just opened this door and...
Huh? What door?
Man, are you loco?
They don't seem to see the door. It must be specific to me since I'm the only one that signed a contract and have the Velvet Key.
Have you been nodding off? You seem kind of out of it.
I haven't been. I've been sleeping properly.
Dude, you're supposed to be our leader. Get your head in the game.
I do. And I shouldn't get advice from you, Junpei.
Come on, let's go.
Alright, we can check our own status by pressing the command menu button. You can also save progress by accessing the clock to the left of the entrance. You can also pay money to heal by accessing this clock. Yes, finally we can do things within the menus. This is what I've been used to before. We can now have access to our actual menu. Like we can have access to our skills, which items we have, our personas, our equipment, our status, our social links, and we can have access to the basic system, which is the menu that we've been seeing before. But for now, as you see right there in the bottom, we have 3,000 yen. In which case, in US dollars, is like 30 bucks. Yeah. And right now, we can actually talk about status. As you see right there, below the health and magic bars, we see that our status is good. This is something to keep in mind. In order to have access to Tartarus and to explore it, your status has to be good or great. We can increase this status by going to the bathroom or sleeping in class or taking access to specific medicines that are available later down the line. This medicine can only be accessed in the real world, not during the dark hour. And due to that fact, we have to pay attention to our status, but not only to the status of the main protagonist, but also of our teammates as well. If our teammates are tired afterwards, that means we can't use them for a while. This will be easier down the line as we get more teammates, but until then, we have to be careful on which days that we enter into the dark hour, due to the fact that we're not going to be able to enter in Tartarus for a while. So yeah, this is important news to keep in mind. Which is why I said going to the bathroom and nodding off in class will be important later down the line if necessary. So yeah, let's just continue onward. We can also go to the Velvet Room if we have access to this. We can go back outside, but we're not going to do that yet. Or we could just enter in Tartarus. We can talk to our teammates and even select our teammates later down the line when we have far too many. We can save the game and there's this bike. Let's learn about this. I keep equipment that helps me search it for information in there. Please don't touch it. Alright, I guess I won't touch your motorcycle. And which, by the way, how does it even work in the dark hour? I thought all electronics are turned off. Alright. Yes, I'd like to save. And as you see right here, this, in the background, you can see Tartarus. So, let's just save right here, because I know for a fact that before you enter into Tartarus, you have to save your game. Because if you don't, you're going to have to start all the way back at the beginning of the story. So yeah, it's best important to keep a save point. And of course we could just, heal the party, heal all, check for battle tips and such with the clock. But for healing, it's going to cost money, and we don't need to, heal at the moment, so let's just save it at that. So this is Tartarus. Yep. Alright, let's do this! I'll prove that I should be in charge. Yeah, right. I know for a fact that you're never gonna be in charge. Don't worry, I won't push you too hard. You'll be just fine. Well, thank you. It's good to know that you're gonna, take it easy on us. Since Yukari and Junpei have no real experience in battle, make sure you back them up. Alright, I'll do my best. What's this unknown device? It's some kind of device you've never seen before. It doesn't seem to be functioning right now. We can go outside, but we don't need to do that at the moment. We can't access the Velvet Room yet, and I'll explain why later. So, let's just get to the entrance. Are you ready? Yep. Let's enter in Tartarus. Good luck. Block 1. Inside Tartarus.
So, this is it, huh?
I hope I don't get lost.
Can you all hear me?
Whoa, is that you, Senpai?
I'll be providing audio backup from here on out.
Okay.
Wait, you mean you can see inside here?
It's my persona's ability.
Oh! Bit of a psychic persona.
I'd like to join you, but the structure of Tartarus changes from day to day.
Which is what the labyrinth portion comes out to be. It changes every day, so it's gonna get confusing, and it's gonna be a maze, so we have to be careful in which battles we fight against. Especially if we're gonna be dungeon crawling or grinding later down the line.
That's why outside support is imperative.
Well, that makes me feel a whole lot better.
Now, based on your current location, you can expect to encounter enemies at any minute. They shouldn't be too tough, but proceed with caution.
Alright.
Practice makes perfect.
Words to live by.
Right.
Got it. Why is she always like that?
I mean, she wasn't even doing anything wrong or prissy. She's just giving us advice. What's with you, Kari? I mean, sure, I know Junpei said there's a bit of hostility, but I didn't think it was actually true. Alright, I guess let's begin. Keep in mind, these are real battles you'll be engaging in. Now, see if you can eliminate all the shadows wandering around this floor. Alright, we can control our characters now. We can, walk around, control the camera, do angling, and we can even talk to our, cast right here. What do you say, Junpei? Is this really inside our school? It'd be fun if It'd be funny if where we are now is in front of our classroom. Yeah, but it would be extremely difficult, especially with the shadows. I wonder how much Mitsuru-senpai really understands us. Okay, that's a lot of hostility. Okay, these are one of the cases. These are spread all over Tartarus, so you're gonna need to find a lot of them. They're gonna have items, weapons, even money at times. So yeah, it's best to, look for them and, pick them up. Medicine, that'll recover some HP. And there's some things that are going to be recovering HP or SP are going to deal with statuses, so best to check your menu for specific items. And in our case, we have medicine. It slightly restores an ally's HP, in which case it'll basically just slightly heal us. We don't need to worry about it at the moment since we're all good to go, and... Watch out! I detect a child in front of you! Move in and hit it before it attacks you. Press the attack button and the action button and use your weapon. If you can hit an enemy before it hits you, you'll have the advantage at the start of a battle. And vice versa. If the shadow attacks you, it'll have the advantage. And the action button? It's just basically A or X or whatever the action command is going to be in any re-release of the game. Or the spacebar if you're going to be playing on PC. But until then, do you see that dot right there? That's the shadow itself, so we have to be very careful. Walk slowly. Oh, watch its pattern. We can avoid it at times, but until then, attack!
Takuba has informed me about your power, but nevertheless, you have minimal combat experience. Would you like me to explain the basics of battle?
I would say yes in this case, but no, I can explain a little bit better than you, Mitsuru, so no thanks.
Okay, then I want you to defeat the enemy before you. Try using both the skill and attack options.
You literally just explained it to me. Well, I guess we could do that later. And now we can have access to basically all of it. We can escape from the battle, but it's not necessary at the moment due to it being a tutorial. We can select our persona, have access to tactics, our items, skills, or, basic attacks. But before we do anything of that sort, let's go into the tactics menu and change all of it. Because originally, you would have to use this constantly just to arrange all of your characters. Like, go to Yukari, set to heal and support, or conserve HP, full assault, or act freely. But due to the fact that it was extremely, extremely difficult to even play the game with the tactics menu, I'm going to set all members to direct commands. Full Persona 4, baby. Because due to the fact, it's a lot easier if you have direct commands. Now, we can have access to a lot more later down the line in the tactics menu, but until then, I'll explain it to you later. Right now, we have to deal with this enemy, which is the Cowardly Maya. And sometimes the masks tell you which weakness it's going to have. This one is the Magician Arcana, which is a magic-based element. And as we saw earlier, that we were going against them, we only had physical attacks. But due to us having access to Agi, let's see if they are weak to fire damage. we have a critical right there.
Wisely chosen attack.
Here's our chance for an all-out attack.
This is something new. We have all-out attacks. If you down all enemies on the battlefield, you have access to this, where you and your teammates all go in for the attack and dealing massive damage to every singular one on the field that is down. So let's go! We defeated the enemy, and we got a snuff soul out of this, an item that'll restore SP. And along with that, we got some experience. It may not be much, but hey, it'll accumulate over time. Alright. Oh! What is that up ahead? There should be a staircase nearby. Do you see it? A staircase is the only way to proceed to the next floor. I can't allow you to go any higher today, but please remember about it next time. Well, it's good to know. We have a staircase right here that we can go higher. Well, sometimes there will be some items or shadows behind the staircase itself, so best to at least, check it just in case. So, we have another shadow up ahead. You'll be at a disadvantage if the enemy gets you the first hit, so try to surprise your opponents with the first strike. Yeah, I already said it vice versa. So, yeah. If we're spotted, so... Got you!
Now's a good time for me to explain about attack properties, which are important to consider during battle. Do you want to know more?
I know I said I wouldn't need to, require a lot of assistance, but I did sort of, fuddle it up the last time we had a battle, so... Yeah, can you explain a little bit more about the elemental-based magic? So, go ahead, Mitsuru.
Nearly every type of attack is associated with a particular property. For example, swords can be used to do slash attacks, while bows are used to do pierce attacks. Skills, on the other hand, have different properties. Bufu, for instance, indicates an ice attack. Now, most enemies are vulnerable to certain types of attacks. In other words, they have weaknesses. A fire skill will deal greater damage to an enemy that's weak against fire.
Just like what I did earlier against the other cowardly Maya.
With my power, I can analyze an enemy to determine its weaknesses and strengths. That falls under tactics. Do you follow?
Yes, I do.
The enemies you're facing have a weakness that you can exploit. Why don't you give it a try?
Thank you very much. Tactics, Mitsuru, analyze.
Roger. I'll attempt to analyze the enemy.
Yeah, that's another thing you can do. Have Mitsuru analyze your enemies. We're not going to attack this due to the fact that Mitsuru's going to be checking it, but let's go ahead and attack this one. Another critical.
You exploited the enemy's weakness.
Normally I would continue onward, but...
Roger. I'll attempt to analyze the enemy.
Oh. I forgot.
Roger. I'll attempt to analyze the enemy.
Turns out with the left bumper button, you could, have access to, you'll be able to access the analysis much quickly. Unfortunately, it won't be as fast as you would normally want it to be in other terms of the games, but until then, let's just go with the defense. We have access to Junpei now. We have access to his magic. He only has Cleave, which is a slash ability. And we can just attack. We can't change personas, so... Because, he only has access to one. We can use items or skills, so... Until then, let's just attack this downed enemy. Critical! Meaning, we will have a one more if we do that. The one more system is also something interesting that's been added in there because of Persona 3. The one more system. If you hit an enemy's weakness, you have the chance of hitting another enemy of the same or different weakness if you're the protagonist. Or if you're one of the characters that only have access to one enemy's elemental type, you can either do the weakness and heal up or buff it. This is something you might want to keep into mind when you're in the middle of fighting, so best to remember the one more system. Until then, let's have Yukari defend. Oh, but let's also check her skills. Dia, she's a healer! Meaning she's going to be helpful in dealing with a lot of it. Oh, and I almost forgot to mention something. You can also do triangle or Y in this case to rush an enemy, meaning you'll just do straight up physical damage every singular time with all the members automatically. Normally you would do this sort of thing if you just want to, quickly go through a weak enemy, but currently right now, we're weak, so we're gonna defend at the moment. They missed!
Here's our chance. Let's get him.
Oh, this is another thing. If an enemy misses, you have the chance of getting a one more. In which case, we could get access to another all-out attack. But currently right now, I don't think it's a good idea due to the fact I'm waiting for the tactics of Mitsudo to, finish analyzing this enemy.
The enemy's weakness is fire.
Thank you for getting us loaded up with that information.
One enemy remains.
Well, we've gone on long enough. Let's finish this off with a bash attack. We didn't finish it off. Alright, Junpei, you wanted to prove you were a leader? Come on, finish it off!
Who's the man?
Alright. Oh, we got a revival bead. This is important. It'll heal your fallen characters up to 50% of their max health, which is important if you've accidentally fallen in battle. We got 12 XP. Oh, another chest. Snuff souls. As said before, they're meant to help at SP. They slightly raise it up, meaning in the early game they're pretty good, so I would recommend you keep as many of those as you can. If I remember correctly, they heal about roughly 58 SP, so I would be careful on how many you have and how many you use. For these, I would say 50 HP so far, which would be a godsend, especially with how low our characters are. And as mentioned before, Revival Beats revives an ally, restoring 50% of their max health. If they fail in battle, that is. You can also use them outside of battle if needed, but because specifically in this game, if your teammates fall in battle, they still are, fallen, and you had to do it outside of battle and revive them, which takes up a lot of resources, unfortunately, so make sure your teammates stay alive for as long as you can, that they don't fall in battle, and heal them up as much as possible without wasting too many resources, so yeah. It's important to keep those traits in line. There's another shadow. And yep, avoid being spotted. Use the map it can be quite useful as you explore, as you use it, so use it often. Thank you very much. But there's also something else about the map. By pushing the pause button on here, specifically on my DualSense, we can have access to a bigger version of the map. So yeah, we can have access to the entirety of the layout if we accidentally get ourselves lost. So yeah, let's be careful. We see something shiny. Looks like there's a chest right there. Let's go back a bit. Let's have the shadow wander away from us. And then... Got you!
Were you able to exploit the enemy's weakness in the last battle? If you didn't already notice, doing so will also grant you an additional attack.
Yes, the one more system, I already explained it.
Would you like more details?
That's not necessary. The one more system. Hit an enemy's weakness, you'll get a one more move. That way you can hit the enemy's weakness again, or use it for another move.
Then proceed with the battle. Use what you've learned to quickly dispose of the enemy.
Yep. Let's continue onward. Let's go, Orpheus.
Yes, the enemy is vulnerable. Attack! A wisely chosen attack.
Awesome.
Let's do it once again. Mass destruction.
The enemy is vulnerable.
Here's
Keep
our
going.
chance for an all-out attack.
All out attack.
Let me at him.
Oh! Something brand new's happened. We have shuffle time. This is an event if you can have an all-out attack at the end of a winning battle. This is a chance for you to earn items, experience, health, or even gain a persona or weapon. This is something you want to keep in mind. This is what Igor was mentioning earlier. Mysterious cards have appeared in your mind. After a battle, you will occasionally have the opportunity to select a card from the one shuffled before your eyes. If you pick a card with a persona on it, then you will receive that persona. There are other cards, each of which has a unique effect or reward. Keep an eye on the card you want and try to pick it. There are special cards later down the line though that have bad effects later, so make sure to be careful on which cards you select. Press the action button when your desired card is directly in front of you. This is one of the... So, we have to be careful, because they're going to be rotating very fast in front of us. I'm going to be going for Pixie, which is the Persona card right in front of us in the middle. So I'm going to keep my eyes on her for a moment. So, we have Experience on the right and Health on the left. A Persona in the center, so I'm going to start and look for Pixie. One, there! Drew out the card of a Persona Pixie! Yeah, welcome Pixie into your heart. More experience and a Snuffle. Looks like we leveled up! Yukari's Persona Io has leveled up. Strength increased by 1, Magic increased by 1, Endurance increased by 1. Junpei's Persona Hermes has leveled up. Strength up by 1, Endurance up by 1, Luck up by 1. It looks like he has access to fire as well. And it looks like that Yukari has access to another healing skill. Patra is meant for dispelling specific statuses. So you want to be careful later down the line for any statuses that appear. Because I'll tell you, they're going to be insanely annoying. More medicine. Alright, let's explore further. And let's take a look into our personas. We have Orpheus at level 2, but we also have Pixie. By taking a look right here, turns out Pixie is a healing persona as well. She's strong against electricity. And we have Racunda coming up next level. It decreases the defense of an enemy. Yeah, Racunda is one of the debuff skills. There's basically 6 different skills. Rakukaja, Tarukaja, and Tsukukaja. Those are the buff skills. Rakukaja, defense. Tsukukaja, speed. Tarukaja, basic attack damage for both magic and physical attacks. But there is the opposite side. Tarunda decreases an enemy's attack damage. Secunda decreases an enemy's speed, and as we see right here, Racunda decreases an enemy's defense. The Tarukajas and the Racundas, the Kundas and Kajas, they increase or decrease the enemy stats by 50%. So for Rakukaja, increases your defense by 50% for at least 3 turns. For Racunda, decreases an enemy's defense by 50% for 3 turns. This is something important you might want to keep down the line. It helps to keep your stats in line, especially if you know how to buff your foes, and how to debuff your foes, and to buff your allies. And this is something very weird at the bottom. Skill card level 4. There's something in the game called a skill card. If you have access to these cards, you can learn a new move on a persona who doesn't learn this skill naturally. So yeah, skill cards are going to be very useful down the line if you want to learn a very powerful move, but you don't want to have the time to do fusion mapping and knowing which specific personas are going to have the specific skills that you're going to want to fuse together. So yeah. Skill cards can be useful, but that's going to be in the rare event in which you can be able to actually get them. So until then, be careful of skill cards, and you're going to have to learn which specific personas are going to have which. But until then, I'm not going to equip Pixie for the moment due to the... Well, I guess I could equip Pixie so I can have access to another magic later down the line, but until then, now it's not a good time. We're in the tutorial, and plus it'll be better if I have Orpheus, learn some more stronger skills. He's the only one we have that has, fire for the Mayas. So, yeah, you're sticking with me, Orpheus. Oh, and to assign the persona they have right now, you just need to select it and then push the action command. Now I would have equipped Pixie, but until then, I'm going to stick with Orpheus. And to discard personas that you don't exactly want, you can press, Y, but it'll ask if you want to confirm it first, so make sure to know which personas you want to keep and which ones you want to let go. Because there is a limit to how many personas you can have initially. So yeah. best to know about the details first before you do anything else. And each persona has its own different set of stats, so it's best to know which personas are going to have the most endurance, speed, attack damage, defense, or even the best luck, so that we can have the most criticals. So, oh, there's a shadow up ahead. If you or another party member is in bad shape, then use healing items prior to engaging the enemy. If you don't have any on hand, then ask Takeba to heal you. The command menu button to open up the menu screen. From there, you can recover HP with skills and items. You can use your friend's skills from there as well, so feel free to do so while keeping an eye on their SP. As you see right there, we've taken some damage. I didn't know about this, so this is something that the skills menu is going to be necessary for. Due to us getting Pixie, we can have access to Dia as well, which is Yukari's healing skill. We don't need Cleave or any of the attacking moves at the moment, so what we need to do is either ask Yukari or ask myself to heal any of the team members. I'm going to heal up Junpei myself, and I'm going to ask Yukari to heal me, and why not heal herself as well? That used up a pretty good amount of SP, but at least the attack magic that I have doesn't require a lot in the terms of SP, so we're good for now. And plus, I have Snuff Souls if I need to, heal up on SP. But this is a tutorial, so we're not going to be managing to use a lot of it. Oh, that's a big boy. There's going to be either a lot of shadows or a powerful one. Here we go! 4 shadows.
There is a better way to defeat all of your enemies in battle than to attack them individually.
Oh, really? Is this multi-targeting magic?
You can perform an all-out attack. Would you care to hear more about this?
I already mentioned an all-out attack before, so there's no need.
Then, that concludes the basics of battle. But there's one last thing I need to tell you.
Alright.
Shadows become stronger the further you advance. If you don't think you can win a battle, retreat at once. There may be times, however, when an escape will be impossible. This battle is one of those times. Good luck.
So you mean we can't escape? Not like we don't need to at the moment. Come on, Orpheus! Let's deal with these Mayas!
A wisely chosen attack.
One more!
Yep, you can continue onward. Persona, here we go with fire.
Attack again.
Get him!
Alright, here we go. Another one.
You attacked the enemy's weak point.
One more!
Yep, one more. This is gonna be our final attack.
The enemy is vulnerable.
Here's
Keep
a
going.
chance. Let's get him!
Yep, let's go for him for an all-out attack.
Get back here, you son of a...
Shuffle time! Looks like we get access to 2 personas. We can have access to Pixie or Absaris. We already have access to Pixie, so we're gonna have access to the new persona, Absaris. And just to know, if you select the same persona again, you don't exactly get the same persona twice, you just get more experience for that specific persona that you selected for the cards. Select the cards after they've been shuffled. Alright, this is another event, so let's see what's gonna happen. I'm gonna focus on Absaris. Alright, we know where it is, on the left. We draw out the card of the persona Absaris. You have welcomed Absaris into your heart. Snuff Souls and you felt a surge of energy inside after the recent battle. Looks like we're gonna have a level up. More HP and SP. We're now able to create personas up to level 4. Yukari leveled up. Magic increased by 1, endurance 1, luck by 1. Junpei up the level. Oh, and if you didn't know, in the game he went like da 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 da. I just leveled up. He even did it in the anime movie, but that's not necessary. But yeah, Junpei and Hermes leveled up. Strength up by 1, magic up by 1, endurance up by 1. It's good for him at least. Well, there's not much we can do. I know there's not many shadows left on this floor, so That's odd. What's odd? Is there more shadows? Usually there's more shadows than the Prowl. What? Well, at least you gained some experience in battle. Let's go back to the dorm for today. There should be an access point somewhere on that floor. You can use it to return to the entrance. Since there aren't any enemies to worry about, why don't you split up and search individually? Just tell your other party members what you'd like them to do. But if they get too far away while split up, you will not be able to use skills or items on them. Be careful of that. This is another thing you can do in the sub-menu. Issue orders to your allies so that way we can split up and search around the area when the shadows are gone. When your party members are too far away, their portrait in the bottom right of the screen will darken and skills and items cannot be used on them. Also, party members may encounter shadows while split up while they're in battle. You will not be able to change their equipment. Well, there's no shadows at the moment, so let's split up. Use this command to instruct your party members to spread out and look for stairs, access points, and items. However, if they're not very strong, they can easily fall prey to the enemy. Be sure to keep an eye on their HP.
Everyone, spread out and proceed individually.
Yep. Oh, Ikari found an access point, but Junpei also found something.
Okay, then I'll look around some more.
Alright. Junpei left. What's this? Dead end. Okay. I'll just wait here and I guess it'll be enough. Let's regroup.
Everyone, return to the leader.
Okay, it's Junpei and there's Ikari. I wonder what Junpei has. Oh, and yeah. Even if you ask Junpei, like I showed you earlier, when, like, if any of your allies find some specific items, you can't exactly, ask them to, show you it like you did earlier, with the conversation and such. You have to go to an access point or go back to the main floor so that way they can give the item to you. You have to, go to the next floor, go to the next access point so that way, go back to the main floor and such. But until then, you're not going to be able to have access to the item that they retrieved. So, yeah, there's the access point. You want to return to the entrance? All right. Here you go. You got medicine. It'll be useful down the line. Return to the entrance.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
So, how was it?
Honestly, it was no problem, but yeah, I would say I would be exhausted from fighting.
It must have hit you all at once. Don't worry, you'll get used to it.
Wow, I never knew I had that kind of power. But damn, I'm beat.
That's because you were bouncing around like a little kid.
Yeah, you look pretty tired yourself, Yucatan.
I'm still trying to catch my breath, actually.
That's the effect of the dark hour. You'll become fatigued more easily.
Yeah, that's the reason I was mentioning the statuses earlier. The dark hour really drains it out of you, so you have to be careful on how much you rest and to appropriate how much time you dedicate to exploring Tartarus, because you can easily get sick if you're not careful. So yeah, be careful on how much you spend, late at night, how much time you spend, sleeping in class to, raise up your status, but also, paying attention so that we can, get your knowledge points and such. So yeah, management of your time and what actions you do every singular day is the name of this specific franchise's game. So yeah, be careful on what you do, which is why I have access to a guide. It'll teach me, which specific days I should, take a break, which days I should go to Tartarus and such, the usual.
Don't worry though, you'll adapt.
And get stronger over time. That's true, because if you get a higher level, the more endurance you have against going, for long periods of time in Tartarus as well, so that we can have, access to stronger personas and skills.
But I'm surprised. You all did much better than I expected.
Well, I'm a bit of a Persona veteran of sorts, but I haven't played Persona 3. So, yeah.
At this rate, they'll catch up to you in no time, Akihiko.
We'll see about that.
In any event, by combining your powers with your teams, you were able to stand against the shadows. You feel a bond forming between yourselves. You felt the power of your heart intensify as if in reaction to the bonds between your friends. Your social link leveled up! Now, to tell you the truth, this specific screen, they ripped it off basically from Persona 4. Yeah, in order to level up, it was basically like the beginning of your social link screen. Like in which they showed you like, thou art I and I am thou, and such. You have reached level 2. But, yeah. This is the level up screen from Persona 4, just retextured for Persona 3. And hey, for aesthetic-wise, it'll be pink. Yeah, that's not important at the moment. Let's just continue onward. The C's social link has reached level 2. The power to create personas of the Full Arcana has grown. Just like Yukari and Junpei, you feel tired as well. You decided it would be best to return to your dorm and rest. Well, not yet. Now that we have access to multiple personas, let's go to the Velvet Room because it's something I want to show you guys. Ah, there you are. Welcome to the Velvet Room. Well, I suppose it's time for me to explain what I really do here. It is my job to create new personas. But in order to do so, I must fuse your persona cards together. In other words, I shall merge them into a single persona. The number of personas you have buried within you is approximately 170. We've never seen a visitor with this many possibilities before. If you establish social links, you may be able to create even stronger personas too. This should prove very interesting. So, as you accumulate cards, please bring them to me. If you wish to learn about fusing personas in more detail, then talk to me so I may give you some hints. How may I help you? Let me show you how fusing personas work. This is the menu to do so. We have the normal spread and the triangle spread. This is based loosely on fortune telling, in which the arcana of your personas will determine the arcana of the fusion, with the full being the multi-purpose base. So, let's see what we can fuse together. We can fuse Orpheus with Pixie, Orpheus with Absaris, or Pixie with Absaris. You know, the sort of thing. But, let's see what will happen. If we select Orpheus with Absaris, we can get access to Angel, who has access to Garu, which is the wind attacks. We have access to Patra, and we can and due to this result, we can send Bash over. But... Huh? Oh yeah, I forgot to mention something. Persona 3 Portable is the only port of Persona 3 in which it allows you to have access to, you know, selecting which skills you want to transfer over from your previous personas. Due to the fact that in order to, you know, find which specific skills you want for the persona you want to fuse with the original Persona 3 or Persona 3 FES, you basically had to enter into this menu multiple times for a random chance of having all the skills that you want. So yeah, I don't know how exactly it's gonna work, but yeah. We can fuse Pixie with Orpheus to get another Absaris, but it wouldn't do much due to the fact we already have this persona. And let's see what happens if we fuse Pixie with Absaris. We have Nekomata. Oh, look at that pretty cat girl. We have access to Agi, which is a fire skill we already have. Dia, Cleave, Provoke, which enrages a foe, and in which case it makes them even fairly weaker to fire. Status conditions can also make things a lot more difficult for them. In this case though, if you enrage a foe, it'll be stronger with physical attacks, but it won't use any magic attacks. And there will be a chance that it will slip up due to its mistakes being enraged. Yeah, be careful on which specific statuses you do to your enemies and which statuses affect you. Now I could get Apsaris again, but there's nothing much else we can do. I mean, I could do a fusion right now with these two, but I could also do the triangle spread, in which I could select 3 personas to fuse together into one stronger one. What we have here is Orpheus, Pixie, and Apsaris, in which case we can get Unicorn. Now, we can't have access to him due to the fact that he's a level 11 persona, meaning we have to be stronger before we can fuse him. That's the level cap. The level cap of your character determines the level cap on which personas you can make. So for the moment, we can't have access to Unicorn, so no access to some healing, light damage, with light magic, which is instant kill for, an enemy. And I'll tell you right now, for light and darkness, they're instant kill moves, but there's a chance of it greatly missing. So yeah, determining on how strong the instant kill move is going to be, it's either going to be a very small chance or going to be a 50% chance of it actually hitting. Well, I mean, if they're weak to it, they're going to be very susceptible and it's going to work basically instantly. But there is a chance that they could dodge it. But besides that, we don't have it. We have poison, which could be very useful later down the line, because poison moves will be useful if it builds up. But there's also Bufu, which we can have access to ice, like from Apsaris. But we don't really need it. And we can also have access to dodge piercing, which means for physical attacks, it'll dodge piercing attacks, such as a bow. Unfortunately, there's not many, things at the moment to do so, so we're just gonna skip fusing altogether. Especially since we're here very early in the game and we don't need to do any of that stuff. So let's just stick with the personas that we have for now. We're gonna leave. I look forward to your next visit. Alright. Let's just save very quickly. And I think that probably is going to do it right now. I know it's been a while since, we did any of this, so yeah, I think it's time that we end it off right here. Next time on Persona 3 Portable Mail Route, we're going to be continuing onward after we exit Tartarus and find out further of what's going on within the world. And hopefully we can start off gaining some social links to increase the power of our personas. So, see you guys then!